Kody, when we talked to you last week, you were very much on the personal responsibility thing. You wanted to up your game. How did you break down your own performance against Tech?
I feel like I was really pleased with myself in the run game. Um, my ability to block on the perimeter, my ability to hold up blocks, so we could push the run game, um, you know, forward and keep moving the chains as best as possible. I feel like I did a really good job of that. I definitely want to capitalize on my when I get the ball in my hands, making moves and making people miss tackles on me, so I could help the run game, of course, in our offense and our pass game. So there's a lot that I need to work on going into this next week. We're going to have a big challenge ahead of us, just like this one was a great challenge for us. But, of course, in the run game, I feel like I did a pretty good job.
Some of your boys have made some pretty impressive one-handed grabs this year, including Darius in the last game. What's that like to watch that and see that happen? And as a receiver, when you get those opportunities to make a play like that.
It was pretty cool to see. I was pretty shocked. I can't remember the defensive back's name on Texas Tech, but we were kind of watching as the ball went up in the air and Darius grabbed it with his one hand, and me and the DB looked at each other like, dude, that was one of the craziest things we've ever got to see live time on a football field. So, and of course, yeah, like Chase had one early in the year. So just watching those dudes make those crazy catches that they've been making in practice this whole time is kind of cool to see that it happen in a real game and fans to be able to see that and to get that momentum. So it's always great, especially when guys deserve it. They've been working so hard. Darius has been working so hard and just playing at a very high level. So it's pretty cool to see.
When you were battling injuries and trying to get healthy and get back on the field, what did you kind of focus on in terms of making sure you kind of stayed up with the offense and were able to come back in and contribute right away and not really have to knock off any rust, so to speak?
I think the biggest thing is, just staying locked in mentally. I think I've been in this offense for quite some time now, so there's not a lot of there's of course nuances every week that we try to change. We don't change too much, but we just trying to fix up on the small details and refine things. So I wasn't missing out on too much early on, but just staying locked in and making sure that I'm there. I'm very present in meetings. I'm present on the football field. I'm present when Coach Fest or Coach Arod is talking about those little details that we need to tune up, and just making sure that when my opportunity comes, I have the right mindset and I'm able to step in and say, hey, I'm ready to take on anything that my coaches need me to do. And one of those things like this game was the run game, and I wanted to make sure that I could be counted on and the ball could come to my side and run behind me. So. Yeah.
Go Jay Drew and then Sean Walker.
Okay.
Hey, Troy, I got to ask you about that hat as a kind of a NASCAR guy myself. Are you into that?
No, I'm not a NASCAR guy. This is a pretty sick hat. I just love these old throwback hats, so I just copped it.
Like it. Hey, just wondering, BYU's had a history of success going in when they're a heavy underdog. A few years ago, they beat Wisconsin. They've always played Texas really tough. Have the coaches, as players, other teammates kind of impressed that upon you guys? Are you guys kind of aware of that ability you've had to rise up in the past?
It's so funny when that question comes up, because when we're in the locker room, when we're around each other, I don't even think we talk about it in that aspect or that regard. Like each and every week, we're just focused on having fun at practice, making jokes, our true blue heroes during the week, and then when it's time to dial it up, it's time to dial it up. I don't think we think about it any other way than just going out there and just having fun and playing football and knowing where to line up, knowing what play is called, and just going forward with that. So.
You'd think I know how to turn off my mic by now, Kody, but I don't.
It's all good.
I was just kind of going back a little bit. You touched on this some, Kody, but now that it seems like you're as healthy as you've ever been, 100% kind of full go, after a slower start to the season, injury-wise for you. Has it been a tough start for you, just kind of, I don't want to necessarily say struggling, but I guess sort of struggling from game to game, week to week, trying to get healthy, trying to get better? How big of a challenge has that been for you, I guess?
I mean, it takes a heavy toll, and it pulls on you a lot, just because everything that I do, me coming here to this university, me going to class every day, all of that kind of is aligned with me wanting to compete on the football field, wanting me to make big plays for my team, wanting me to make my coaches proud, my family happy, make myself happy. So it can be very challenging week to week when you want to play, but you're dealing with a nagging injury like a hamstring. It can be very frustrating, but I think the biggest thing is just understanding my why and using perspective to keep me pushing and keep me motivated, so that when my opportunity does present itself, that I'm not still thinking about what is happening or what's not happening for me. So it can be challenging, but just having great people around me, and then having a great mindset towards it helps a lot.
All right, we'll have a couple more questions from Jason Shepard and then Jake Hatch.
Kody, anytime that you get an opportunity to face a top 10 team, it's going to be a big matchup and it's going to be a big opportunity. Can you speak to that, but also with the added layer of it now being a conference game and having conference implications? Just what type of opportunity this is for you guys?
I think this is the biggest opportunity, just because it's a football game that we're allowed to play. Whether it's a top 10 team, whether it's a unranked team, or I think the biggest thing for us is just week in and week out, we treat every single game like it's the greatest game we can have, because you never know when it's going to be your last game, and you never know if you're going to have that opportunity again. So definitely the challenge of having a top 10 team is fun. It's exciting. It's a lot of focus and preparation that's going to be put into it. But we don't look at it any differently than each and every game that we have to play. But Texas has been playing really well. They've been doing a lot of good things. They're having a great season. But we're just going to have to attack it the way we need to and focus on us at the same time. So.
Kody, the offense has had less than 300 total yards 5 times in 7 games this year. Is there a concern level from you as players about that paltry output yardage-wise?
No, I don't think we. Something that we talk about a lot is just the fact that there's a lot of less snaps now with the college rule change where the clock continues to run. There's a lot of less snaps. So of course there's going to be stuff statistically that is not the best appeal to the people that are looking at stuff like that and the data and stuff like that. But for us, we're just trying to, get victories, and we're trying to put a lot of effort out there. We're trying to play with a lot of emotion, play with a lot of intensity, and have fun. So as long as we're getting our job done, I don't think anybody in the locker room, especially that I know of in the receiver room, nobody's coming in talking about stats. We're just happy to see Darius make a great one-handed catch. We're so happy to see Chase on the 2-yard line be able to make that play, one-on-one coverage, and get the touchdown for us, and LJ to make that big run on the second play of the game. Like, those are the things that we look to, and when we go to team meetings, those are the stats that we're proud to see, and how we're doing on special teams. How are we changing the game from a special team vantage point, so that we can have a great field position going on offense, and then make them have a longer field on defense. Those are the stats that we're looking at as a team, not necessarily personal stats or yards or things like that.
Okay, Kody, we'll just have one last question for you from Jared Lloyd.
No problem.
Kody, Shep touched on this. This is an opportunity this week, and you mentioned how you want to treat it like every other game, which makes sense. Let's project for a second. How cool would it be to go into Austin and get a win and come back home with a win over a top 10 ranked team?
Yeah. I mean, it will be amazing. It's going to be a great experience. It's going to be my first time ever even seeing their stadium. going to play in that environment. I heard that environment is rocking. It's going to be loud. It's going to be fun. So it's a great opportunity. It's going to be a great time. But at the end of the day, business trips are business trips. You know, you can say you're going to take a business trip in Osaka, Japan, and you go do all the fun stuff and all that. But at the end of the day, you got to go get business done, and you got to come back home with production. And you have to come back home with the product. So, like I said, you can travel anywhere, you can go sightsee. But when it comes to business, we have to make sure that we're getting business done. So.
Okay, thanks, Kody. That's all the questions for today.
Thank you guys so much.